Hello, my name is Sebbi and welcome back to the coffee break in Minecraft. Today is Thursday, September 28th, 2023. The Iceland special continues. So far I covered the first week of my 2-week-long stay in Iceland. So today we start with the second week, but first I need to feed the very hungry cat. How about a cot? How about a cot again? Okay, cat starts to purr right away. It's a very silent purr, but the purr ramps up. I think the cat first has to enjoy the cot before it can purr at full energy at the highest purr level. Let's quickly do the usual check of the park area. I think everything is safe and in order. This is good. That's very good. There's a creeper. No, there's no creeper. Let's open the gates and head over to my fishing spot. Yesterday I enchanted the axe. Now I need to get back to level 30 to also enchant the shovel. Once I'm done with that, I can add the mending enchantment to both tools. That's cool. That's super exciting. We're making good progress. Let's also make progress with the Iceland special. As said, first week has been covered. We are now starting with Monday, September 18th, 2023. Monday, September 18th, 2023 was yet another rainy day. Unfortunately, we haven't been that lucky with the weather while staying in the West Fjords. It has been raining and storming is too strong of a word. It hasn't reached the wind speeds for storm, but it was very strong wind. So yeah, the weather was not in our favor. Still, we tried to make the most of it. And so we head out on Monday morning to explore the fjord. Our location was located at. So the town where we stayed is at the end of a fjord, and we wanted to get to the beginning of the fjord, so to say. This was a very nice and exciting drive. It was also very special because this part of the West Fjords has some valleys like a fjord, but they are not fjords, so they're really filled with some grassland, which is super rich. The soil is very good. This resulted in some farmers having lived there back in the days. They were quite rich families due to the proximity to the sea. They could not only do farming, but also fishing. So they had basically twice the income. And they lived a happy life. They lived a very happy life. Unfortunately, one day while the men were out on sea, a heavy storm happened and many men died. This unfortunately resulted in the end of this settlement. It resulted in the end of these rich families. There are still some farmers out there, but it really caused a strong decline of the population out there, which is really sad, which is really unfortunate. And yeah, it just shows how history, how life can sometimes really result in happy and good moments, but can also sometimes ruin lots of things. So yeah, this was really somewhat of a tough story, because they were really happy out there. Yeah, so we explored this fjord. We also saw why Enderman? Why Enderman again? We also saw a house of a former fisherman who decided at the age of 70 or so that he wants to become an artist. So he started to form some sculptures with sand from the sea mixed with some concrete. They are looking a little bit more like the sculptures some child would create or so. But yeah, they're really cool. They looked quite interesting. He lived at the almost very end of that fjord, so at our turning point of that journey. This was cool to see, but also a little bit sad, because there were some descriptions about the life of that artist, and at some stage he started to lose his vision. So he was kind of clever by placing some clamshells on the floor to have an easier way to get to the seashore and back home to his house, because he had to get there to get the sand for his sculptures. And at some point he lost his vision completely and had to live his last year of his life in a retirement home in a nearby town. But still, very cool, very exciting to see these kind of sculptures in the middle of nowhere, so to say. On the way out to this turning point and on the way back, we of course saw some cool sea cliff sites. We made our picnic at an old abandoned building, which was kind of fun to explore from the outside. Getting in there might have been a little bit too dangerous, but yeah, it looked interesting to just see this old building that had some character and really seemed like someone left, well, not in a hurry, but left and never came back or so. So yeah, this basically was Monday. We just explored that fjord. We took our time there. We, I guess, would have done more if it wouldn't have been for the weather. So in the mid of the afternoon or so, we got back to our accommodation. I used the opportunity to visit that Icelandic gym that was located in the center of this little town. It was really interesting because, yeah, this town is so small, so was their gym, but still there were several people training there, and it felt just cool being there, training with the locals, and also enjoying the view, because they built that gym at the water, or close to the water, and so you could see the fjord and the sea and the mountains around the fjord right from the gym. Really, really great view. Also great view on the somewhat big waves you saw on the fjord, thanks to the wind. In the evening, we went to, I guess, the only restaurant of the town. I'm not quite sure if they do have another restaurant, but it's basically the do-it-all shop, restaurant, bar, cafe. Basically, they had a small little grocery store where you can buy your groceries. They had a cafe for, well, enjoying cafe and some cake and so on. And they had, also a restaurant, which was famous for its fish and chips. So we all ordered fish and chips, and they were really good. They were really delicious, the fish and chips there. This was a nice evening. Delicious evening. Nice to enjoy some of the local fish. Yeah, this has been Monday. Somewhat of a windy, rainy, but also interesting and relaxed day. Let's move on to Tuesday, September 19th, 2023. Tuesday, it was time to leave the West Fjords. We also wanted to get to the... Skelton. We also wanted to get to the northeast of Iceland. To be more specific, we wanted to get to the town called Húsavík. And since it's quite a long drive, we wanted to have a sleepover at a town in the middle to, well, not have to go all in for a super long drive or so. The weather still was very windy, and so the drive was kinda interesting with all this strong wind, sometimes really surprising you. You were driving along the road, the gravel road. Then you had to get up. Oh, I only do have normal coal. Interesting. I need to produce some more charcoal at some point, I guess. And then you drove up maybe a small little incline of that road. And on the top of this incline, all of a sudden the wind grabbed the car. And you were really surprised. You were really... Ooh, wow, the car suddenly moves in a direction that was not anticipated and not predicted. Yeah, that was an interesting drive. During the drive, we also enjoyed some of the scenery. We made a stop, or rather multiple stops, at some shores to see the big waves, to feel the strong wind, take pictures, record videos, have a picnic in the car while seeing the rain come down on the car. So far it was just a day on the road basically, so it was a road trip day. Things were... I mean, it's to some degree exhausting to drive so much, or to be constantly on the road and not being out to explore and walk about. But the journey was okay until we arrived at the town where we stayed. While driving through the town, all of a sudden the car started to make some noises. Some noises that sounded pretty much like I am driving with a flat tire. As we arrived at the hotel and got out of the car, I checked the tires, and indeed, one tire was flat. This must have happened on the last few meters, basically, on the drive through the town or so, because the car handled well on the faster drive with the strong winds from the side. I mean, strong winds from the side and a flat tire, I think this would have been really noticeable. But the car handled well until, well, we got into this town. So we were really lucky that the flat tire just happened there. We were even more lucky because right next to the hotel was a garage. Not a garage of a mechanic shop or so, but a garage of a car enthusiast. Someone who likes to do some drift racing and yes, is really into cars. This person was even hanging out in the garage. So we talked to him and he agreed to take a look at our car. Unfortunately, the tire was really punctured and basically broken, destroyed. So it was no longer of good use. But he was very helpful to lower the spare tire. The spare tire was mounted underneath the trunk of our vehicle. So one first had to lower it with a chain. It was hanging down from a chain. Then removing the other tire, installing the tire, and it was really good because he had the right equipment. He had a good car jack to get up the car. He had pressurized tools to quickly unscrew and screw again the tire. This was perfect. This was really great, and we were really thankful for that person that he helped us. He helped us really a great deal. We were so lucky. He usually works on a fishing trawler as an engineer. So normally he spends his time out on the sea. It's quite an interesting life, I guess. So he works for 1 month and has 1 month off, which basically equals in he works half a year and half a year he's on vacation or so. The fishing trawler must be rather big. He said there are 27 people on board. There are 2 responsible for the kitchen. 2 are always on the bridge. There are 3 engineers. And the rest of the crew is fishermen. So they are catching the fish. They are going for basically everything. They have a certain quota for each type of fish. And when they go for cod, then they go for cod and so on. They immediately process the fish once it's on board. So the fish immediately gets processed, gets, I guess, cut into fillets or so, and gets frozen. In this case, it's super fresh fish you can get from them. And he said it's the most delicious fish he tasted so far because it's super fresh what they get. So it was also cool to talk to him about his work, about his life on board of the fishing vessel. They also do some trips to Norway and before the war even to Russia. This was only 1 month at a time. Usually they spend their time around Iceland, but at certain times of the year when the fish are close to Norway, for instance, in late winter there are some huge swarms of cod, some huge schools of cod in around northern Norway, and then they go there to get also this kind of cod because the fish at this time has a very dense and good meat. So I can fully understand that they do the trips there. Yeah, I guess it's kind of an interesting life, spending half a year on the sea and half a year at home. The hotel was a little bit like a shared living space or so. So basically everyone had, of course, their very own rooms. And then there was a community kitchen. So we used that community kitchen to cook our dinner, to enjoy our dinner there, and to, relax a little bit during the evening before heading to bed. On Wednesday, our journey northeast continued. First, we made a quick stop at a spot where there are lots of columnar basalt spots, which looks really cool. So you can really get up close. You can take cool pictures of this columnar basalt. There's also a nice lighthouse to see in the background. It's really a nice area, especially because you can really get so up close, take a look how exactly these columns are formed. So yeah, this was cool. We've been to that spot before. I don't know, was it during my personal first trip to Iceland? Maybe it was either during my personal first trip. No, I think it was during my second trip to Iceland. It was not during the first one, but during the second one. We've been there before, and so it was nice to get back there to see this place again, to enjoy this place again. Very cool, very exciting. Unfortunately, while we were there, it all of a sudden started to rain again. This was not so fun. It was rather unfair to get wet again. But yeah, got all the footage I wanted to get, enjoyed the scenery. This is also quite important. This is what I also did a lot. I recorded the footage I wanted to get, and then I just took in the scenery. I stood there and enjoyed the fantastic landscape of Iceland to really, yeah, just have moments for myself, so to say. We continue on, and on the drive to Húsavík, one also drives through the second largest town of Iceland, Akureyri. It's also located in the northeast. And yeah, we made a stop there to do some shopping. Iceland has very good outdoor clothing brands. What a surprise. I mean, they do have the weather. They do have the weather indeed, that they need this kind of clothing. And we wanted to browse through one of these outdoor shops. At least I wanted to do this because my waterproof jacket slowly started to fall apart. It was really time to replace it. The others then joined me in this endeavor, so they also wanted to get new rain jackets, which was kind of fun because we all ended up with the exact same rain jacket. Luckily, they are in different sizes, so we can still keep them apart, which is good. But yeah, it's even more fun since I was traveling with my parents, and so now the entire family is dressed in bright orange rain jackets. I guess we never managed to wear the rain jackets at the same time during the remainder of the journey. Ooh, efficiency 3 and unbreaking 3. That's nice. Now this shovel is going crazy. This shovel is definitely going crazy. Okay, now I just need to add mending to it. I think I will do this once I'm done with the Iceland special. Oh, I totally forgot to clean the inventory. What do I have? Let's put all the water in here. Yeah, so I guess this would look funny to have the group of people just dressed in orange. Yeah, so shopping was successful. I also saw a very cool ice cream shop where I definitely wanted to get some ice from. The ice cream was very delicious. I got 3 bowls in a waffle cone. Very cool, very delicious. So, what was a good day. Was a very good day. Then we continued on from Akureyri to Húsavík. And we even made a stop at another prominent waterfall called the Godafoss. This is also really, really a beautiful spot. You can see, you can basically see and get to the stream flowing to the waterfall. Then you can stand somewhat next to the waterfall and walk down the stream where the water continues to flow. In comparison to the previous journeys to Iceland, they really improved the area for tourism, so they prohibited visitors from going to certain spots that were previously allowed. I find this is a good solution. They also added some good walkways to also protect the landscape because, with the high number of people that get there, this is really necessary to protect a little bit the landscape. The waterfall is super cool because it's a two-part waterfall, but you have one waterfall, then you have a little bit of a rock, then you have a small waterfall in between, then you have another rock, and then you have another big waterfall, and everything is a little bit in some arch-like structure. So this is also a very, very good highlight one has to visit. Yeah, we spent some time there, took some pictures, recorded videos before heading on to Húsavík, where we stayed in they called it cottages. It were basically little wooden cabins that were super cool. They were really cozy. They are fantastic. They were close to a lake, so you had a beautiful view in the morning. And as we got there, it was already, I think it was already after sunset or so it was quite dark already. We did some quick shopping in Húsavík before then getting there, and cooked some dinner. And finally ended the day of another long drive. So cool, we made it to the Northeast. Tomorrow I will continue with our adventures we had in the Northeast. In this case, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you will be joining me tomorrow. Until then, my name is Sebbi. See you!